Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to a brand new Conquest video guide. You'll be able to find this and all my other Conquest video guides on my Swag of Life website. If you haven't seen it yet, there'll be a link in the description below. Go ahead and check it out because you've got lots of great Conquest content on there, from these sector boss guides and then as well feats guide, enemies tool, and of course my daily plan if you do want to follow along as you're playing through your Conquest. Now in this particular video I'll be going through sector 1 feats, so just some of the team suggestions I put together to go hand in hand with my feats and daily plan on my Swag of Life website. Again, there'll be a link in the description below. Now these are just suggestions, some variations, and you can just give it a go whatever you've got on your roster. And the teams I kind of usually build, I try to combine teams that do both sector and global feats if possible at the same time. So feats here are quite interesting to say there. So we got defeating 50 enemies with Jedi. This overlaps well with the global feat where you have to win 40 battles with a full Jedi squad. Then we've got the Purge feat. This again overlaps if you do have a good Inquisitor squad, that is, that overlaps with the global feat for 40 wins with Inquisitors. Personally, my Inquisitors are not that great, so getting 40 wins with them is going to be very challenging for me, so I think I'll just skip it. However, I will be doing Purge feat because, as you know from previous conquests, there are ways to cheese this either with Palps or GML and what. I'll show you both variants here. I put to the test. Then we have to gain stealth 40 times. I mean, this is quite an easy feat to be done, to be honest. Lots of teams. I'll show you a couple of different suggestions. And attempting to inflict torture 50 times. Now there are two characters in the game currently that can apply torture. The first one being Grand Inquisitor, which I do not have, and then the second one being 000. That's the new droid that we got from Marquee at 3 stars. You can still get it to work actually, but the most I could actually do is getting two tortures per battle, which is not that great. So, you know, if I were to go for this torture feat, I would have to do 25 battles just to get 5 key cards. So again, this is the feat that I'll be skipping myself as well, because it's just simply not worth it. Maybe if you have Grand Inquisitors while you're knocking out your Inquisitor battles, maybe it'd be worth it. I'm not sure, but I think even in that case, you know, getting more than like 2 is quite challenging. But you know, it's just early days of Conquest. We don't have the full data these sets yet, so there may be a way to cheese this and get more than 2 per battle. But yeah, you know, it's only 5 key cards, so I think it's not really worth doing at all. So the first cheese team here for the Purge, might as well start with some cheese, right? Who doesn't love some cheese? So we've got Palpatine here with Shore Trooper for the Pre-Taunt, and then I've chosen second sister, 8th brother, and 7th sister here, because 7th sister is good. She's got Dispel, then as well she's got ability for heal, gaining foresight to your guys. 8th brother himself, he's gaining stealth, remember the stealth feat. Second sister can stun as well, so it's quite a nice balance here team that you can use. Now the best bet I think is going to be versus Bad Batch, because they're not over prepared, so even with lower gear Inquisitors you should be able to get a jump start on these guys. As you can see, we're already running circles around them, spamming those debuffs all around. Now I can go ahead, remove the Pre-Taunt from Wrecker, and now I can just pretty much go around and do whatever I want. Obviously get a stun out with Palps. Unfortunately didn't let stun there on Echo. Then I stun him with my second sister, and I'll just Hunter there, expose. Let's go get foresight, keep spamming debuffs, Palp Train in full effect here. And at this point, you know, everybody's kind of stunned, shocked, ability blocked, you have things under control, you have a turn meter train rolling. Anytime you consume Purge, right, buff expires, which means more turn meter for you guys, and another mass stun will Palps. So yeah, if you definitely come across a Bad Batch team, this Palps cheese as well works quite well. I was actually burning through these guys a bit fast now because I do have second sister at Relic now, so I was doing a bit too much damage. So I was actually only able to pull out 20 stacks of Purge in this particular battle. So if you do have actually lower gear Inquisitors, I think you'll be able to cheese better, do more, just because you won't be doing as much damage as I was doing there with my Relic second sister. And then yes, we have the second cheese team with JML and Watt. So actually I tried this versus Gas, probably not the best team to go up against, but at least they don't have 5s, so I don't have to worry about sacrifice. Obviously doing here an AoE ability block, increasing cooldowns on Gas so he doesn't smash his AoE. And I just put weapon tech over on my second sister, so hopefully she can get a few more turns. And I will just keep spamming those debuffs as always, keep applying Purge, keep consuming it. This is pretty much it. Guess we'll sit down any minute now. Just a basic, there we go. Okay, I'm just speeding up the footage here. I'm just going after here Rex and then Ahsoka, because Ahsoka, remember, on her basic, if she critically hits you, she can dispel some buffs, and I want to keep these guys under full control. Gas got up again because I increased his cooldowns before he got down. Then his AoE was still on. It was still on the cooldown. So that was perfect. He was, because you know his AoE otherwise could smash your low gear Inquisitors, which fun enough will happen in the end. He had AoE ready and he knocked those guys out, but even he does, you know, Jedi Master Luke here can finish off. And in this particular battle I was actually able to get 30 stacks of Purge applied, so I think that's not too bad at all. Maybe because Gas likes to resist, he's a Jedi, so you get more chances there to apply Purge. And then if he resists, then he can't get 6 stacks straight away, and then you can keep attempting to apply, because remember, it's attempt to inflict Purge 300 times, not inflict Purge 300 times. So here are kind of the two cheese teams that you can give it a go if you do need this Purge feat. Personally, I think I will go for it because, you know, I do need those key cards. I don't have Grand Inquisitors, definitely some feats I'll be missing. Alright, let's go into the Jedi battles now. I think I have 3 different Jedi teams here to go through. This is just the first kind of my default Jedi team here with Jedi Knight Luke, Revan, Anakin. It's kind of a foolproof team because obviously if somebody falls below 50% health, Jedi Knight Anakin gets a turn, bonus turn, then he can use Heroes Arise, which gives turn over to Luke. Luke can stun everybody and then you can go to town. If somebody gets defeated, Julie's there for the revive. So moving on to Jedi team number 2. So this one is utilizing Jedi Master Luke and General Kenobi, because not only we have the global Jedi feat here as well, Sector 1 Jedi feat, we also have a global feat where you have to defeat 100 enemies with either Master Kenobi or General Kenobi. And if you have Jedi Master Luke, I think this is going to be the easiest way to cheese these kills, because you can just use everybody to keep calling General Kenobi with Inherited Teachings ability from Jedi Master Luke's lead. You can keep calling Kenobi to assist, and you know he'll do most of the defeating here. So you can, you know, if timed correctly, I think I was averaging about 4 kills here with Kenobi per battle, which I think is not too bad. Again, it's Sector 1, so enemies here, even Sith Empire, aren't all that scary. So I'm just trying to do, so you can see, just trying to time the kills with General Kenobi that somebody calls, obviously with Inherited Teaching Kenobi for assist, and this is pretty much it. So just to here verify, I always like to verify my feats. We never know with CG, right? Do feats count or not? And yes, I did get 4 kills in this first battle here with General Kenobi. So I think this will be my go-to team for farming these feats. Obviously, if you do have Jedi Master Kenobi, again, you can put any sort of Jedi team around him. Remember, Commander Ahsoka Tano is no Jedi, so if you do use her, this will not count towards the global 4-2 wins with a full squad of Jedi. Unfortunately, it's Ahsoka's own fault, because, you know, when she came back, they offered her that she comes back with them to the Jedi Academy. She's like, no, I'm no Jedi. Well, if you're not a Jedi, then, you know, you can't use you here, unfortunately. Anyway, enough of that. As you can see, so similar strategy like with General Kenobi there. You really want to kind of spread the damage and just time those kills with your Jedi Master Kenobi, because he's the one that has to defeat enemies for the global feat. There we go. Luckily, you know, here Jedi Master Kenobi, he's quite good, especially like versus these Hux teams. They can't gain turn meter, right? So you can just keep killing them, and then obviously Jedi Master Kenobi does have ramping damage on his special, so you can keep doing bigger and bigger hits, and it was again 4 more kills there with Jedi Master Kenobi. Okay, so let's move on to some other global feats now. So this is kind of the team. If you do have Rey, you can run this team, Rey and R2. Obviously Rey to keep everybody alive, R2 for smokescreen, for the stealth feat in Sector 1. Then you have Leia, Farmnobi, and Old Ben to kind of double deep on 2 global feats, the Leinobi and Farmnobi feats, where you have to win 20 battles with Old Ben and Farmnobi surviving, and then 20 battles with Leia and any Kenobi surviving. So like this you can kind of, you know, just really half your battles down in half if you can always do these global feats with 3 these characters. I think this will be then very easy, because you will be able to do that then this in essentially 10 battles both feats instead of 20. So it will save you a lot of energy if you can get it done in this way. And Leia herself, she can grant stealth to herself, also adding a little bit more stealth here for the Sector 1 feat. But to be honest, stealth isn't really a hard feat to achieve, especially because it's only 40 times. So, you know, here I was just kind of trying to delay the battle as much as I could to hopefully get stealth more. And here we go, another way to get obviously stealth. Darth Maul lead with a bunch of Sith. They start with stealth, and then whenever they're critically hit again, they will be regaining stealth. So you can as well knock out stealth easily, probably about 10 times, if not more. Here, so I'm going just against Rex 501st. Obviously you have to go through 5s first this case, so that you don't trigger sacrifice. Rex, unfortunately, they're Jedi clans, but it doesn't matter at this point. We've got things under control. Luckily, this is just Sector 1, so these guys aren't as threatening anymore. But hey, we're also missing some good data discs here to begin with. So hopefully by the time we get to the end of Sector 5, we'll have some powerful stuff going on. Okay, so this is another stealth team here. You've got obviously their tech with his AoE, he grants stealth everybody. Then by himself he starts in stealth already. Then as well Omega can grant stealth to herself, and then obviously here we got Hunter with his AoE, he again grants stealth to his guys. So lots of way to gain stealth. You can probably get 10, maybe even 15 times stealth with his team in a single battle. So you can see we're totally shredding Night Sisters here. They're dazed, they're stunned, healing immunity. So it's going to be very, very easy here to get this done. Boom, down goes Daka and stealth a lot of times. Now remember the global feat I mentioned before, 40 wins with Inquisitors. Now I did find a team that my Inquisitors can beat with these, you know, very basic data this to begin with here in Sector 1. But again, I personally won't be going after this feat because my Inquisitors are nowhere near ready unless we find some powerful combination here. So I did find a Phoenix team. Unfortunately, they have Sabine in there and she's got an AoE. So if you maybe find a team without AoEs, but I think there's always Sabine in there with Phoenix now. So it's either I think Ezra or Chopper are kind of the 52 options that alternate. I'm not sure. But anyway, here just kind of stunning their Kanan so he's not counter-attacking. Need to heal up. I don't want to do AoEs here because as long as Kanan is alive, these guys will be counter-attacking, and obviously they're my 9th sister, even at gear 12 there, so she's not that low gear, barely survived the opening sequence. I don't really want her to take as much heat anymore, even though she's all healed up now. So there you go. So priority number 1, take out Kanan, because then you stop their counterattacks and then you can start doing your AoEs and everything. Obviously try to keep their Sabine ability blocked as well, so she doesn't keep spamming AoEs. Luckily here, obviously with Inquisitors, you have lots of ways to apply healing immunity, lots of ways here to land ability blocks and daze. So you should be able to keep these guys somewhat under control. But as you can see, my 9th sister barely hanging in there at gear 12. It's true she doesn't have 6 dot mods on her, so she's not like that well modded, but still, yeah. So if I were to do 40 kills with Inquisitors, I would just farm this against the Phoenix. Good thing obviously, if you can pull this off, you will get Purge a lot of times. I had to hit auto with only 9 seconds to go, finished off the battle. So as you can see, I went up from think at 50 stacks of Purge all the way to 117, so I got nearly 60 Purge applies in this one Phoenix battle, which was pretty cool. So definitely making very good progress here towards the Purge feed. So this is another version of the double dipping for Farmnobi and Leinobi global feed. Obviously, if you don't have Galactic Legend Rare, you can just maybe do Old Ben lead and then throw in Han and Chewie. Again, Bad Batch is, you know, kind of, I think, best team to go up against just because they're not over prepared, at least until we get some better data disc sets to give us a little bit more survivability or firepower out of the gate. But otherwise, you know, once Echo is down, you've got nothing to worry about. These guys can't do a whole lot. Now, even though my Farmbo Luke, obviously he's low gear, he will get guard from Chewbacca because he's the weakest, so at least then, you know, he can't be critically hit, so hopefully he can take an AoE or two. There we go, almost just down to Wrecker, and let's finish off Omega as well. Alright, so now we got a couple of teams here that I was playing around to try and get Torture as many times as I could, but both teams, the most I could do is get Torture twice per battle. That's why I personally would recommend just to not bother with this Torture at all, unless with Grand Inquisitor you can apply more than twice, I'm not sure. Anyway, here's the droid lineup. You need a specific turn order for this to work. BB-8 goes first, then you need your prop droid to dispel their buffs. There we go, and then you need to 000 to go to apply Torture on Echo, followed by BT, and then the last one should be what's her name? Sortie should be the last, so she can then give you some nice thermometer boost so you can get your second wave in. These guys won't be able to gain buffs now because they are target locked, because of prop droid there will prevent buffs on target locked enemies. So we got Illuminated Destiny, so this is the next wave of thermometer, and that's it pretty much. Let's apply Torture for the second time now on tech, and this was pretty much it. I wasn't able to stall the battle long enough here to get applied Torture 3 times. So if you absolutely have to do this, if you don't have Grand Inquisitor, you'll have to find some way to get 000 going, but you know, averaging only 2 tortures per battle, this will be 25 battles, which is a lot of energy. So there you go, just showing you that it did count there using 000. So there was another team I was playing around here, just trying to get some sort of thermometer loop going with Phasma, Hux, First Order Officer, and Thrawn. So I can keep passing turns over to 000 and get him to, you know, get as many tortures out as possible. First thing, I fractured Wrecker so I can get around his taunt. Then I put Torture over on Echo, and then here with Hux I did a mass assist. I really want to get Echo out as quickly as possible. Thermometer with Phasma, and now I can go ahead here and reset cooldowns on Phasma, so she can go ahead, boost more thermometer to the team, pinning shot there on Echo, reducing cooldowns to First Order guys, so hopefully they'll be able to, again, resetting cooldowns and everything. So just go ahead here now, pass turn over to Hux. I'm just going to go ahead, finish off Echo, and then let's go ahead now, go after Hunter. Again, let's reset cooldowns on First Order Officer, pinning shot, remove thermometer on Hunter. I'm going to fracture tech, and then give turn again over to 000. Let's do mass assist over on Wrecker, make sure he doesn't get more thermometer by Phasma, resetting cooldowns on Phasma, more thermometer by Phasma, First Order Officer, reducing cooldowns, more thermometer. You can really kind of see that you can get some sort of loop going here. Again, resetting cooldown on Phasma, more thermometer. There you go, that was Torture applied second time. Unfortunately, Torture here has actually 5 turn cooldown, and even though you can get some stacks of translation, it's much harder to get those stacks of translation than with, you know, your C3PO or tech in there, because in order for your guys to get, for your dark side allies to get translation, they have to target an enemy with Torture. And obviously I did have Torture in beginning on Echo, but I defeated him fast, and then, you know, you can't anymore gain those 3 stacks of translation, so you can then reduce cooldowns. But I'm pretty sure there'll be some sort of way to maybe cheese this further against a certain opponent with certain data this set, but for now this is the best I could do. But again, personal recommendation, just ignore this feat, I think, unless maybe you have Grand Inquisitor, it's gonna be easier. But anyway, let's look at the progress here after playing through Sector 1. I'm kind of halfway through the Purge feat. I won't bother with Torture anymore. This was just for recording purposes to show you that, you know, if you do need to get it done, 000, you know, you can kind of do 2 per battle at most, it seems. So yeah, very good progress here. And also let me show you the progress on the global feats after playing through Sector 1, just so you can see a little bit how my feat tracker is looking like. Obviously defeating 500 enemies also happened. I've got 10 Jedi battles already done. I defeated 20 enemies with Kenobis, and then I got there in those 2 battles that I showed you, Leinobi and Farmnobi, 2 apiece, and 1 Inquisitor battle, which yeah, I won't really all that much bother going for. I don't really need it. And that's pretty much it for today's video. Hope you found it useful and helpful. Let me know in the comments below, obviously, or on my Discord server. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow in Sector 2 video, but until then, have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.